everybody, it's that time again. It's time for Art is Fun with Nonna, and it is. I hope you will enjoy making some more in our farm animal series. Today we're going to do a sheep and her little lamb. So get your pencil and your eraser, your paper, and let's get started. So today we're going to do the sheep and the baby lamb. We are going to use a lot of ovals today. So we'll first get started with Mama Sheep's body. Now I would do your oval pretty much right smack dab in the middle, just like that. So we start off just with an oval in the middle of the page. And that's going to be the body of the mom sheep. Now, just till we get the right position, we're going to make the baby sheep. And it's important on this one that their eyes kind of make contact. So the ovals of the head have to be just right. But let's go ahead and go down to this lower right quadrant here and just make a little oval right here. That's going to be the baby sheep right there. And that's going to be, of course, smaller than the mom sheep. I'd say it's about a third of it, or maybe even a quarter of it, if that makes sense. Now we have to do the heads, and the positioning, like I said, is really important. So we're going to do an oval that's facing kind of diagonally. And if it helps you to put a little diagonal line on the mom and the baby sheep, then you can kind of get the oval kind of looking at each other. That's what we want, because we want the two characters to make a connection. So now let's make an oval for the mom's head. And actually the oval for the mom's head is pretty near the size of the body of the baby sheep. And so now we got to put a head on our baby sheep. So we're going to put it right about like that. Just kind of where the baby sheep is kind of looking up. And if you got that, and if you need a minute, you need to erase or pause the video if it didn't quite come out like you wanted. Just take a minute to do that. That's fine. All right, now we're going to make the mom have a little tail and the baby have a little tail. So we're just going to make a little oval, like a more skinnier, longer oval on the mom's tail. And then we're going to make the baby tail. I like the baby tail to kind of go up because he's trotting along and trying to keep up with mom. So that's another small oval right there. Now we're going to make a couple of ovals for the ears. I say that looks like a good ear. Sheep have kind of, not too big, but I think that looks about right. And then for the little face, the muzzle where the mouth is, we're going to put a circle on the end of the mom sheep's oval, right on the bottom of that head oval. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do the ears and the baby sheep. And we're going to give him another ear coming out right about there. And then we're going to do a little circle on the end for the muzzle. Good. I think that's looking pretty good. Now let's do the legs. And the sheep are kind of trotting along. So the front leg of the sheep is going to kind of just be a straight line like that. And then you're going to do a parallel line on the other side. And that's just going to have like a little V in the foot to indicate like a little hoof. I think that looks about long enough. And then for this one, we're going to do kind of a part of a triangle. Just come down from the head about halfway, or maybe a little bit more, and then put a triangle, or just a diagonal line right about there, and then put like a little straight line, and then make another kind of slanted line. And that's the sheep's front leg. And then we're just going to put a little V on the end of that one. And then you're going to make a triangle on that. And she's just trotting along. She's picking up her feet. Now, the opposite side of the front leg, you're going to have this front side be picked up because it's trotting. So we're going to make a little oval like right about there. And you can make the whole thing. We can erase it later if we need to. And then the mom's little leg is going to come out like this. And you can kind of tell how far that needs to come. And it's okay if they touch. Mine didn't touch in my original drawing, but they're touching here, and I kind of almost like that better. So sometimes there's a little happy accident that we can just kind of take advantage of. We're going to take advantage of some of the little happy accidents that happen in our drawing, and we're not going to be frustrated. We're just going to move right ahead forward. So this back leg, we're going to put that one, if you come to this side of the oval back in the right hand side, you're just going to make kind of a straight line. And this is actually coming up pretty much over the top of the baby sheep. So that makes it a little bit harder. You have to remember what is in front and what's in the back. So this leg is going to be in the back. Now I'm going to just put a little arc right there because the leg kind of blends into the body a little bit. And I'll take my eraser and just so I remember that that's what I'm doing. So they're walking along. Now the baby sheep, we're going to put, let's see, I might have to change that just a wee bit, or we can just put the back leg and it's going to go in front. Remember how we did this one over here? That's going to be the same way. So we're going to make a diagonal line there and then kind of a straighter line down and then come back with another diagonal line. And if you want to, you can just make stick legs if that's easier. And you can color them in and make them a little bit thicker if that helps. So now we're just going to go and make a parallel line to make the baby sheep's little leg. Then we're just going to do one that's straight down. And their little legs aren't that long. So there's the baby sheep's leg. Now we're going to pretty much do the same thing on this side. We're going to put an oval here. And the little sheep's leg is going to come out like this. And you're just going to make a parallel line on the other side. And then you make your little, it looks like a letter, like an upside down M or a W. And then the baby sheep needs a leg on the opposite side. All these legs getting confusing, but just pause that video if you need to. And sometimes we need to. All right, so I think we've got all our legs and we've got all of our noses and ears and everything, but we need some eyes. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start erasing a little bit. Now the tail, I can only see the tail from the back, so this line is going to go away. And if my line is too thick here, then that line is going to go away. It'll start to make a little bit more sense once you start erasing some of the lines that you don't need. And this is, since everybody's kind of on top of each other, that makes it a little bit harder. But we will persevere. Now, let's go to the face, and we don't need the body. The face is on front of the body. It's on top of the body. So you're going to see the face and not the back. So that line, that's why we erase that line. We don't need this line going through like that anymore. And the ear lines we're going to erase so that the head is in front of the ear. There. And then we also don't need that line right there, although that kind of makes where that little arc went, we can just do a little mouth real quick because that looks good on the mouth right there. And I guess while we're here, we'll just make a little nose, two little ovals for the nose. And then we're going to make the ears. We're just going to do like a little arc, like cut that in half almost on both sides. And we might as well do the eyes while we're at it. Now the eyes are really important. So remember, the pupils of the eyes we've got to have looking at the baby sheep. So that looks pretty good. Now, if I look here, she's got to be looking kind of down. So we're going to make an arc on the bottom part of the eye. And she's looking right at her baby. And then we're going to make little eyelids like that. And if you want to make little eyelashes on your sheep, that's fine. All right, now let's go to the baby. We're going to start erasing some of these little lines. This one here. And we're going to make our ear. We're going to like cut it in half with one of those arcs, because that's the inside of the ear. And then the little baby sheep needs to be looking at mama. Now, so we're going to make that baby's eyes look like that. Just kind of a little arc, kind of right through the middle and down to the end. And they look like they're looking at each other, and that's kind of what we're going for. And we'll make him some little eyelashes. And of course, we're going to make two tiny little ovals here and the mouth, because they're all very happy and they love each other. So that's very good. And I think that line is just a little bit, oh, one of the things we need to do is we need to make them look fluffy. So if you can just write like little M's, you can call it a backward C, and just make that look like a fluffy little body. So you're just doing the same little arc over and over, and it's going to be the same thing here, because their whole body is fluffy because they have not been sheared yet, I bet. And then the tail the same way. You can go back and erase all these little lines that you want. I'll erase that line right here. That's looking better. Okay. All right. So we're getting into a little bit more complicated drawings, but we're progressing as artists. I think you guys can handle it. So let's just do this pattern that we're doing. It's just like a U. And while you're drawing, it's good to think about the animal or whatever you're drawing, because it actually helps it look more like what it's supposed to be. I know it sounds silly, but it does. It works. I wonder if you've been to a petting zoo and if you've seen lambs and sheep and stuff. We had just had the fair about a month ago, and it was a lot of fun. So, and you can even make like a little fluffy body here to show that the fur's all over, and we'll do the lamb the same way. And what I did is I just made some grass for them to stay in. So those are just like little pointy things right there, right? And you can just put those anywhere. And of course, if you color your drawing, you'd want to color them, and it'll look really nice that way. I really would like to see some of your work. If you ever get a chance to upload it to my Facebook page, I would love that. So that's our little lamb. That's a little more complicated. See, a little line needs to be corrected. So just have fun with that, and I think that would be a fun one to color. I think glitter lambs would be very, very attractive. You can try glitter, you can try paint. My little grandson just got a pastel set, which is like colored chalk, which is really cool. So that's our lamb and the mommy. So I thought that I should tell you which parts are dark colored in my drawing, and that would be sheep and lambs. A lot of times they'll have black legs, so I would color in the leg, I would color that dark, and I would color all the legs dark like that. And of course the pupils of the eyes would be dark, but not the white of the eyes. And then inside the ears, I usually color that dark too. And that'll make your drawing pop a little bit. You know what, I just had an idea. You know, you could actually take like cotton balls and glue them to the lambs like that and make them like a 3D fluffy lamb. I think that would be cool. But, you know, just use your imagination on that with any kind of media that you want. That's media means pencils, colored pencils, crayons, paints, pastels. There's so many ways that you can go. So that's our lamb for today, another one in our farm animal series. I got inspired with farm animals because we had so many at the fair and they were fun to go see. So I hope you enjoyed doing that. Remember to stop the video. This was a little bit more complicated. So stop the video if you need to. And I'd like to try that cotton ball on top of the lamb. I think that would be kind of cool. And you can make the grass here and the sky blue around it or whatever color you want. So you can put them in a little setting. We're going to be doing more with putting the animal with its surroundings because you guys are getting pretty good, I think, and you're ready for a little bit of a challenge. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope you'll come back next time on Art is Fun with Nonna. I'll see you then. Bye.